everyone, so today we're going to learn about tea processing, the basic tea processing steps in the upcoming slides and the types of teas. You have seen many types of teas and their advertisements in the television also. So let's begin. Okay, starting with what is tea? Well, you all know, right, when we make tea, the main ingredient is tea leaves. So usually from the tea plant, the tea leaves are plucked. 2 to 3 times in a year, the leaves are plucked. So here the definition goes as tea is an aromatic beverage which is prepared by pouring hot and boiling water over cured or fresh leaves. The leaves are called Camellia sinensis. The plant is Camellia sinensis. This is the FSSA definition also of the tea, which is important too. Well, as I told you in the introduction that here we'll be learning about basic steps of tea processing. Well, let's learn about the tea processing. The tea processing mainly contains nearly 4.5% of nitrogen compounds and the maximum caffeine content is 3% only. So here the steps of processing are harvesting. Harvesting, as I told you that you can see in the picture too, the leaves are plucked. The tea is cultivated for the purpose of leaves because tea leaves are the main ingredient for the tea. And the further north plantations are located. Usually northeastern India is mostly famous for tea, and even southern parts of India too, but Assam tea, Darjeeling tea are famous ones which is even exported to many other countries. Well, coming to the point of harvesting, few leaves, that is a part of the stem which is also called the flush, that is the stem and the stem tip from the leaves are arising, that stem tip is called flush. So the flush is the basis of the tree production. So usually including the flush, the stem is broken, that is the flush will be there on, that is the tea tip, as you can see here, the tea tip, and 2 to 3 leaves which is attached to that little stem. That little stem which is containing of 2 to 3 leaves or tea leaves together is called golden flush. Withering of tea leaves. See, once the leaves are plucked, they are fresh and green, right? So we don't consume fresh and green leaves, tea leaves as per tea. We need the dried tea, that is dried tea leaves. So withering has to be done. Withering is basically the drying process. So you cannot simply put the leaves in an open area and let them dry. No, the dust particles, everything, it's not hygienic. So usually there are two methods: tat withering method and trough withering method. So tat withering method is also a drying process. As you can see the first picture, the tea leaves are put into these racks and they are put for drying. As you can see, that is not that hygienic, but that was the old and traditional method. But now we have the modern method, modern technology, which is hygienic and which is good enough, which is called trough withering method. As you can see, the machinery, it's clean and usually it's automated. There is only we have to put the leaves here, the drying process all will continue. This is the machinery for dehydration. Here there is no machinery, this is just drying according to the atmospheric conditions. So trough withering method is a present method for tea drying. Disruption and leaf maceration. See guys, I'll be explaining, but you have to imagine and you have to keep looking at the pictures too. That's how you can imagine well and picturize well. So what is leaf maceration? Leaf maceration, it usually comes from the Western culture. So it is the third stage of maceration. First is harvesting, second is withering, and third is disruption or leaf maceration. So during this process, the leaves are promoted to oxidation. In further slides, I'll be telling you how much oxidation and which gives rise to what kind of teas. So tea leaves are passed into these rolling structures to rupture the cell walls and to improve the tea oxidation. So more the oxidation, more darker will be the color of the tea. So usually people prefer, right, darker tea, and if you people are drinking tea without milk, that is only water and the tea leaves, they need thick dark color. So oxidation, so more oxidation, more darker the color. This is the third step, that is disruption or leaf maceration. Coming to fourth step, yes, how I told you before that I'll be explaining about this oxidation process. The fourth step, oxidation or fermentation of the tea. As I told you before, oxidation, more the oxidation, darker will be the color. See the tea leaves here, that is a percentage of tea leaves. So you must have seen the ad of green tea, right? Lipton green tea. Green tea is healthy for life. See the oxidation. This is the tea leaf usually. This is the lighter color, this is the darker color. So this lighter color contains only 10 to 20% of oxidation. That is, only 10 to 20% of this leaf has been oxidized. That is green leaf, green tea, green tea. And black tea, that is 90 to 100% it's oxidized. You can see here. So people want darker the color in tea, they will be having 90 to 100% oxidized. And who want yellow tea or oolong tea, it's in between 50 to 60, but green tea is only 10 to 20% only. Please see the leaf, guys, it's very important. It's very clear where you can picturize yourselves. See, this is green tea and this is black tea. You can see the color difference. Even in ad, when that actress, she gives an ad of green tea, you can see the color, it's yellowish orange. But if you see the color of normal tea of normal any company which gives an ad of tea, the color is thick, that is orangish to brown, and even red, a tinge of red. So people who prefer green tea, the oxidation is only 10%, and people who prefer thick and dark black tea, the oxidation is 90 to 100%. Both the teas have their own pros and cons, which you can study and you can Google it. Well, I'll be putting that video too. So here, coming to oxidation. Oxidation refers to a series of chemical reactions that results in browning of tea leaves. As I told you, more darker the color. See guys, whenever we go and buy any food company or food product from the food company, I'm sorry for wrong sentence. So what do we see? What are the basic characteristics when we buy any food product? The basic characteristics will be like the product should be attractive, the product should be, the quality wise it should be perfect, taste wise, by presentation wise, and it should be consumable. It should not be expiry date, right? It should not be expired. So these are basic things as a consumers which we look into buying any product. So even that is the case even for the teas. So people will be buying only that company of tea which has more amazing flavor or aroma with amazing color. Like, people have preferences, right? Some people must be preferring green tea, but some people they need a darker color in the tea, but they even want the taste and aroma. So these companies usually will be focusing on these oxidations. So if a company is mainly making green tea, they'll be preferring less oxidized leaves with more aroma compounds and more flavor compounds. So they will be adding few flavors and aromas, but usually they'll be mostly focusing on tea because tea leaves are the main. Leaves are the main. So oxidation is one of the main steps because which is very important. And see, depending on the type of the tea being made, oxidation is prevented altogether or deliberately initiated. See, in this green tea, oxidation is completely prevented, but in this black tea, it is deliberately initiated for a longer process because they'll be getting darker in color. That's how some consumers, they prefer darker color tea, right? So now we'll be going to next step, that is fixation of tea. See here, you can see the tray here in this picture, that is to the left side. The leaves are spread evenly, okay, and you can see here the leaves are coming out. You can see the color difference also, the color difference, and there are consumers also accordingly to that. Okay, what is fixation? Fixation is also called firing because it involves the exposure of tea leaves to heat. Let me be very clear, when these tea leaves are exposed to heat, they are evenly exposed to heat, because it can happen, right? Like only some tea leaves are completely oxidized and some are not. If you want a certain tea leaves to be oxidized, you separate it first only. See, if they want this whole tray to be oxidized, they'll first only decide that this tray should be green tea, that is 10 to 20% oxidized or 90 to 100% oxidized. They cannot segregate after oxidizing of this tea that no, only certain tea leaves are 90% oxidized, certain tea leaves are 10%. No, this whole tray will be going for one set of oxidation, that is either either no oxidation, that is very minimal, that is 10%, 20%, or full oxidation, that is 100%. This whole tray. So they are evenly spread. The leaves are evenly spread. See, your whole leaves are black. Oh, black tea. This whole is black tea leaves. That is completely oxidized. You cannot see green tea leaves partially oxidized because those are tea leaves. You cannot segregate them. So this is called firing process. So fixation is usually done by heating the leaves in a drum. See, this is a drum roller, and here once the firing is done, the leaves come and fall into this tray, segregated. And yes, the temperature should be very much even. That is mostly important. So coming to the last slide. So as I told you that I'm going to introduce you to different kinds of teas and you need to try these all. These are only 10 types. There are many though. Well, starting with green tea, this is the most, oh my god, like from past 10 years, this green tea has been in trending, especially for weight loss. I really don't know how much it helps in weight loss because I personally did not consume it, and it also changes from person to person. Well, if you consume green tea, please do tell me that it really does promote weight loss. I know that it prevents allergies and acne, but I don't know about weight loss, so I won't comment on it. Coming to ginger tea, which is the last one. Ginger tea, usually people consume it for treating an illness, but there are some people who maintain a very healthy and fit lifestyle, so they do consume ginger tea regularly. Oolong tea, as I told you in the starting slide, the tea's definition, there was a word called oolong tea. Oolong tea, let me tell you that the oxidation is usually 50 to 60% only. That is neither too dark nor too light. So it's brown in color. Okay, black tea is completely like dark, and green tea is green because that's not oxidized well. Well, I don't know about white tea because I am first time I did not taste white tea anytime. It seems that it's very beneficial for stress and detoxification. If you guys have consumed any of these teas, please do comment in the comment section, and please do tell me that how health wise it's beneficial, and is it beneficial in your skincare or your health routine, or how fit you have become. Green tea, I've heard people consume green tea, but I don't know about white tea or how black tea or matcha. See, matcha is also there. They say that it burns belly fat, so I don't know. If you have consumed it, please do comment. Hibiscus tea, yes, I've seen this hibiscus tea. I did not consume it. Black tea, as I told you, it treats anxiety and weight loss. So these are 10 types, guys. There are many types. Let me tell you, these are basic 10 types which I'm showing you. If you have consumed it, please do comment in the comment section. Well, going to the next slide. Recent advances in the tea industry. Recent advances, value added tea. Okay, it seems that in 1950s 40s there was nothing called tea bag. Let me, please correct me if I'm wrong, it might be even earlier, but when we travel through any transport system, we consume tea not like completely boiling it, but by tea bags, right? We dip the tea bag in that hot water or that hot milk, and we consume it. So tea bag is one of the value added product, and it is a recent advancement in the tea industry and the market industry. It also helps in amazing export and import. The market owns a lot. Usually tea is very much rich in antioxidants and also acts as a stimulating agent. So what is a stimulating agent? It's like immediate energy types, which gives you an energy to work more and wake up. So and tea also contains caffeine. So caffeine is important pharmacological agent. So tea is a very important industry for market capitalization. And black tea contains vitamin E and K, and green tea contains vitamin C, which is really important. Do you guys know that vitamin C deficiency causes scurvy, that is bleeding gums usually? So vitamin C is really important. So vitamin C is usually present even in citrus fruits. Even green tea contains vitamin C. Complete tea powder or ready to drink or instant type. So tea bags is one of the value added products which I told you. Complete tea powder or ready to drink or instant type products are also being developed in the tea industry. Let me tell you that all over world people consume tea. Like, there are teetotalers who do not drink tea or coffee, but tea is a big industry. Tea, coffee, beverages is a very big industry, and developing value added products of those beverages causes a lot of profits. So if you have any ideas of, coming up, if you have any idea of new value added product, please do comment in the comment section. Okay, then coming to the next slide. Thank you. That's it, guys. This was a short video, and thank you very much. If I'm too fast in this video, please do comment. I will try to reduce my speed, and yeah, I won't stop you. You can leave the video. Thank you very much.